Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This stunning gentleman right there, that's Tim. And this is Second Legacy. And thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is the channel where we take our goings on in the 2A day. We analyze it. We add some commentary to send you out better armed to pass our rights on to the next generation. And we do it in hopefully a humorous and sarcastic kind of way to brighten your day up a little bit. And that is what we're about. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And with that, we are about to dive in to the gun-controlling internet side, and we have some treats for you. You guys are going to love every second of this. But with that, Tim, I don't want to build it up too much because I do that. My personality does that. And it's a thanks, man. Thanks. Like
the build up,
very quick response.
The fake build up. It's like just come on. No,
okay. Well,
all right.
That was savage.
Lay it on me.
That was such a quick response.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so. We were getting ready for this G3 segment. We were doing some research, and we ran across a few things, and happens frequently when we're lifting up the gun control rocks. We sometimes run across things where we're like, whoa, can't show that one. And then other times we're like, oh, I got to show the people. And Tim, with your permission, I have one that I would like to bring to the floor before you take the wheel. Can we do that?
Sure.
All right. This is the best case of Trump derangement syndrome I've ever seen. This is from a progressive radio show host. Without much more ado, let me hear you in the comments. This is number 18. Doctor, please.
As soon as he takes the oath, he will have generals walk down the steps of the Capitol. He will take a hammer and break the glass where the Constitution is, and he will tear it up in our faces. And say, now, I'm the king of the world. You will bow down, bitches. He will punish everybody that didn't vote for him. Let me tell y'all how I know this shit. I know it because I know what mental illness looks like. That mania is unstoppable. See, this motherfucker's Hitler. He didn't come to play.
I know what mental illness looks like. I stare it in the face every morning.
Yes, you do. I have many mirrors.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
He's going to shred the Constitution. He's going to break the glass. Have you seen the glass? It's like nuclear bomb proof. It's like
thick.
And our Constitution, he shreds our Constitution, and then he becomes the king of the world.
Of the world. and then you bow down, bitches.
I know. And how do I know this? Because I know what mental illness looks like. Oh, wow.
Dude, is that not the greatest thing you've seen in at least the last hour?
Dude, that is over the top.
Oh my God. And what I love about this, other than the points that are so obvious, I love the way it went from the extremes. Here it was, Tim, starting off. We're in production. We're in content production. Let me tell y'all something about this crazy life that we're living in. Because I know what mental health looks like. And then after that comes right back to, he came to play. It's just like, good Lord. From dramatic to unhinged to dramatic again. And you know something else that I love so much? And I think I'm going to ask Dr. Producer to try to get excerpts of this. Did you hear the co-host or whoever's there during the clip where this man is Hitler? And then you hear, I'm just like, what is going on in this room right now?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
All right. That was pretty funny. See, folks,
that was pretty good, right?
When you get on social media looking for content, right? You get pulled off into these various rabbit holes. Like you'll see something you think is funny and you'll start following that and you'll wind up in a completely different place. And you're like, okay, I got to refocus. This is, part of probably me being on the spectrum. And then I'm trying to get myself back into looking for stuff for the show. And so that's where you run across little gems like that video. And I found one too. This one was posted by Johnny B. And Doc, if you could throw up 19, I'm just going to let this.
Just let it speak for itself.
It speaks for itself. And of course, this cracked me up. I was just like, okay, wow. But I expect that from Johnny. I mean, that's just his style of humor.
Yeah, of course, that's his shtick. Yeah.
But apparently, this is a real article, and they got a report. They're looking into it. There's a report. So
there's a report. That's good. I was actually more concerned when I read that article. The thing that really stands out to me is how effective and efficient the report is going to be, because that's actually what I'm most concerned about. But
well, I'm sure that
anyway,
we're gonna see an executive order signed here shortly. We're gonna put like $460 billion into a research project to figure out how we can keep TSA from racking folks. So
yes,
okay. Anyway,
yes. It's very serious work. Very serious work.
Okay,
but now take the wheel.
Back to our.
We had to show you what we found under the rocks, but oh God, please take the wheel. We navigated that without getting banned. Nice.
Okay, right. So anyway. Let's get back to why we're here, folks. Number 20, Doc. This is from Ted Hochhalter, and old Ted posted this little meme. And just keep in mind, folks, left can't meme. Get it straight. Our right to life is inalienable. Your right to own a gun is amendable. Okay, so we'll give Ted points for truth and accuracy, which is kind of an oddity from when we're talking about gun grabbers, because they're usually dishonest. But he's right here. And you can amend the Constitution if you have 2/3 of the vote by both chambers of Congress, or have a convention of the states and 2/3 of the state vote to amend the Constitution. So in other words, it's an improbability.
Yeah, nah.
It ain't happening.
Yeah, nah.
And so, you could, in the history of the Bill of Rights, we've added to the Constitution and Bill of Rights, right? We've added protections, but to my knowledge, Braden, correct me if I'm wrong, of the original 10, how many of them have we repealed? Yeah.
0.
Right. So anyway, good luck with that, dude. What are your thoughts?
So my favorite thing about this is, because sometimes you don't have to necessarily say like, oh, look, they're being dishonest, or look, they're manipulating people. Oh, look, they're lying again. Sometimes you can just go, hey, look, the truth is in their answer. Your right to own a gun is amendable, and yet it hasn't been amended.
Right. So you're kind of sinking your own boat there. Yeah.
You're kind of sinking your own little, not like boat. Let's go with boat. You're sinking your own boat of gun control narrative here. And you're kind of saying the part out loud, because it begs the question, if it's truly amendable and it's, the obvious choice, why haven't we done it? Because you don't have support to do it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's a living, breathing document that takes an awful lot of work to keep it living and breathing and growing and changing.
It takes a lot of CPR to get that thing changed.
Right? So, I always love that. So the gun grabbers want to say that, you got Newsom out there talking about his amendment to, ban guns globally. And that's his proposal. And I think he's is he still even pitching that? I mean, he was doing that several months ago, but he's kind of like shut up about it.
Well, that's because no one cares.
Yeah.
Like, even the liberals are like, yeah, about that. Could you maybe take something a little more achievable?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Let's not do that in an election year, shall we not? Yeah. So I guess he thought he had the political capital, but he was a little bit. Yeah, but I guess he quickly realized he doesn't have the political capital.
Yeah, that's weird.
And maybe I
don't know where the 28th Amendment went. That's odd.
Maybe old Ted will have that stark reality wake up call someday too himself. All right, moving along to one of my favorite people on X, formerly known as Twitter. This is Davey from K12 Shooting Database, number 21, Doc. And so old Davey's out there. I mean, he's been on a rip, Braden. The last 10 posts, maybe, at least sprinkled in there, a good number of those posts have been him railing against the whole concept of providing security to our children.
Right.
Like
it's really a piece of sand in his shell there, isn't it?
It is. It's like, I do not want security in the schools. Dang it. We need the chaos. That's how I keep my database growing. It's like,
my database.
This guy is.
Are you being generous this morning, man? That's nice.
Well, so anyway,
database
number 21. Let's read this one. So, when shots are fired on campus, how do police tell the difference between an armed teacher? So he's talking about not arming teachers wearing a hooded sweatshirt at a weekend basketball game versus a teenager in a hooded sweatshirt with a gun. And screenshot something. Of course, he never links to it, but it's his own post from his own website on Substack. And it's film study learning.
He referenced himself.
He does.
He referenced himself as the source.
He sources himself and he talks about himself in the third person. How do you know somebody's mentally ill? They talk about themselves in the third person.
Oh my God.
You know, Tim doesn't like that. Tim thinks that's really weird when people talk about themselves in third person. If you want to upset Tim, that's a good way to do it. So anyway,
that's a good way.
So that's what Davey does. And so here he is citing himself. And then he's talking about blah, 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 blah. You know, well, what are you going to do if, a coach with a hoodie on and he's the good guy and the bad guy has a hoodie on? What are the police going to do? I mean, all these what ifs, right? It sounds suspiciously like he's equating hoodie-wearing people to being criminals. That sounds oddly like profiling.
Oh my goodness gracious. And profiling, which we know is clearly wrong, and that is obviously what he meant.
Yeah, because keep in mind, folks, the left is wildly against any type of profiling. That's why you see grandma in a wheelchair getting strip searched at a TSA checkpoint in the airports. You know, they can't look at her and go, yeah, there's a low likelihood she's going to be a problem. So they just got to like pick people that makes them look like they're not profiling. Right. So
exactly.
That's what that gets.
Some people have got to fall on the sword, Tim. Some people have got to fall on the sword because profiling is very, very bad and wrong and mean and evil even. In fact, if you look at a group of individuals, whatever they are, and you say they're more likely to have an infraction of something because of just basic statistics, you can't do that, Tim. Yeah, so in order to search that group of people, you're going to have to find another demographic that is likely not to have those same issues. Search them too, so now that everyone is equally searched.
That's right.
And equity is achieved, and then we can proceed.
That'd be like if you drive a Corvette and you get pulled over by police because you're in a Corvette, no other reason, because obviously you bought that car to break speed laws. And so we're just going to go ahead and assume that you're the bad guy on the highway. And yeah, we're not going to pull over the Camry. Yeah. It can barely get out of its own way. So, yeah.
Can you imagine that conversation? Officer, I've been profiled because I have a Camaro. That's not true. I pulled over a Honda Civic too, so now we're all good. You're both in trouble.
You're good. I want to stop a Yugo here in a few minutes. If you don't know what a Yugo is,
hey,
Google it.
You're missing something. You're missing life. Or a Chevy Nova. That was also a good one, which is funny because it didn't sell internationally because in Spanish, Nova means no go. Anyway,
that is so true.
Just saying, that's totally true. But I have a simple solution, Tim.
Okay.
In wrapping up this obvious quandary about how we solve the problem, maybe we identify the people who have the guns in the sweatshirts and differentiate them from the ones who don't have guns in the sweatshirts. Is we look at the ones brandishing firearms and firing them at people. Maybe that would help.
Right.
Because that's the image that he's showing. If you guys can't see it, we'll zoom in. There's someone actually pointing a gun and discharging it at another person. And the question here is, but how do police really know who's at fault? Follow the noise.
Yeah, maybe the guy with the gun is the problem that's doing the shooting there. Call me crazy. Is it the hoodie or is it the gun? I'm going to go with the gun.
You know what, Tim? You earned this. Are you ready for it?
No.
Nailed it.
All right. I think I've had enough of this episode. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.